and McKinstry 6 through 9.
The southpaw on the mound for the Athletics this afternoon, Gage Jump. 13th start for the left-hander, coming off a fantastic outing against the Boston Red Sox, which saw him go 6 shutout innings against the Red Sox. Just 3 hits allowed by the left-hander. And he's got a tough Tiger lineup, Chris, who has swung the bat well here in the first 2 games of this series.
First pitch is at 105. It's high. Ball and a strike. There's the strike call behind the plate from Jeremy Rehak. Dan Iasanya, the crew chief, is at first. Adam Beck at second. And Louis Krupa is at third. The Tigers have won the first 2 games 13-1 in game 1, 8-6 in a much closer game in game 2, but a late arriving offense for the Athletics. Just could not scratch across enough runs late into the game. Ended up being Framber Valdez's 6th win of the season, his 10th in his career against the A's, the 13th save of Kenley Jansen.
We know that the Tigers are not afraid to give up a lead late. Unfortunately, the Athletics just not quite able to get to the top of that mountain last night. And I know it's something that fans have expressed, different levels of irritation with. The resiliency, the perseverance. I think it only goes so far for fans. As Gage Jump with a leadoff walk to Torres here to start the ball game.
Defense behind Jump will look like this. Soderstrom in left, Polte in center, Butler in right, White and McNeil in the corners, Williams and Walton up the middle, and Jonah Heim is the backstop. He talked about this in the open, is getting ahead and finishing hitters quickly early on. He walks the first hitter he faces and now sees Dingler, and it's ball 1.
Yeah, mentioned the 12 for 22 first pitch strike rate for Gage Jump in that last outing.
Line drive, and Alika can't catch that one. Walk and a base hit, that's how we'll start the ball game.
Well, there's been some guys at the top of the lineup that have had a nice series. And really the fella up now, a prime suspect in Kevin McGonigal, but a walk and a knock to get it going here. And Chris, it's really been the latter portion of this Tiger lineup that has done a nice job of not only delivering, but in their delivery of production is done a really nice job of turning the lineup over.
McGonigal has homered in back-to-back games for the first time in his career. After games 1 and 2.
We'll take you back to yesterday, and it didn't take long. McGonigal. Well, that's what they're talking about. You can hear them. They're talking about McGonigal. And, we've seen advanced approaches from young players. We saw it with Nick Kurtz. We talked about it with Tommy White, his ability to stretch the strike zone and go out and get a hit and handle pitches that might not necessarily be strikes, but ones that he can still get the bat to.
1-2. Won't get that one called strike 3. McGonigal looked back for his second, but will not challenge. 1 away.
Jeremy Rehak behind the plate this afternoon. Played 3 seasons at the... No, that's not it, Chris. It's Ohio University. Hitting .272, 4 homers, and stealing 14 bases. I got Jeremy Rehak beating you in a foot race. Calls a large zone and has been overturned on, well, just over half, 51.3% of his challenges.
Was that really necessary?
Probably not, but I got to be honest.
It gives you joy.
That, and I've just got some emotion that I need to get out, and I want to apologize ahead of time because you didn't deserve that.
It's okay. I love you still, buddy. What'd you say my first year got the body of a milk bag? Am I turning into a punching bag? That means I'm firmer now.
Well, I say you're more, we're working towards milk carton. Those things, that's a little firmer.
Eduardo Valencia is up. Has 3 hits off the bench in this series. First start. And he will be called out on strikes. Back-to-back looking strikeouts. So Jump responds well after the first 2 base runners get aboard.
And the heater again. And this one, I think, is just a matter of Valencia probably looking for just a little something different. Because, I mean, that was 95 and hittable, and he just couldn't get the bat off his shoulder.
Spencer Torkelson takes low and in. He's on a short 3-game hitting streak. All of those 3 games have been multi-hit efforts. His multi-hit efforts in 4 of his last 5 games as well. Has looked good to start the second half of the season for Detroit. That's clubbed into left center, and that will score a run. That's going to roll all the way to the wall. Another run may come home and score. Dingler around third. It's a 2 RBI double. Neither Soderstrom nor Bolte elected to cut it off, and they played it off the wall. It ends up being a 2 spot for Detroit. Another 2-run first. Second straight game that's happened.
Well, you can start with this being a well-struck baseball off the barrel of Spencer Torkelson. And he's going to split the difference out there between left and center field. And even with the speed of Bolte, he's not able to cut it off. And after bearing down and punching out back-to-back hitters in McGonigal and Valencia, it's Torkelson with 2 outs who comes up and delivers a clutch knock. Meeting on the mound brought to you by the injury attorneys of Ashton and Price.
And here is Hao-Yu Lee, a player that batted .205 with 3 doubles and 2 homers as well as 9 RBIs in his first 32 big league games through June 1st. His last 36 starting on June 13th after being elevated again from AAA Toledo. He's been batting .320 over his last 30, .341, and overall .269 for Detroit. They'll take in the dirt, and Torkelson's going to test high. Throw down to third. He slid underneath the tag.
Well, it's a good slide by Torkelson to get to the back side of third base, the outfield side of the bag. Marcotte's got his hand up. He may decide to take a look at this. Looks like he's going to keep it rolling, just like Torkelson kept it rolling on into third base. And you can see where Tommy White has to go and get the baseball, then bring it all the way back to the back side of the bag. Just not enough time to get the tag down.
So a wild pitch. Hao-Yu Lee on the ground, diving, stopped by White. Spins, throws to first, a high throw, but McNeil is able to jump up and get to the bag quick enough. Good play on the corners, but the Tigers do score 2 runs and lead 2-0. Two 2-0 Tigers. A's starting lineup is brought to you by Sacramento area Chevrolet dealers. Walton, Soderstrom, and Heim. Tommy White, the cleanup hitter. Then Butler and Cortez. Alika, McNeil, and Bolte to follow.
Right-hander Kiter Montero on the mound now for the Motor City Kitties in this series finale. 18th start of the season. You see the 23 appearances, which tells you he's had some experience doing both, starting ball games, coming in relief, and we'll kind of break that down a little deeper as the game goes on. 110 and a third innings under his belt, 3.34 ERA, which for me tells me he's done a really good job of handling both responsibilities.
He has Walton first, 2 swings on the first pitch and fouls it away.
And Chris, because he's kind of split that double duty with the start today, only he and Griffin Jacks over in Tampa Bay, the only 2 pitchers in all of baseball with at least 18 starts.
Popped into left in the sunlight. Malgeri has a beat on, makes the catch.
And 6 relief appearances.
Defense for Detroit. Algerian left, Clark in center, McKinstry in right, Lee and Torkelson on the corners, McGonigal and Torres up the middle, and Valencia behind the plate for Cater Montero.
There's AJ, sixth season at the helm for the Tigers. Folks remember that World Series championship back in 2017 with Houston.
How about Griffin Jacks starting some games? 31 years old. Already very exciting Tampa Bay rotation that has now added Freddie Peralta.
Yeah, how about that?
No balls and 2 strikes to Soderstrom, who has batted .309 in the first inning, .242 overall. Montero is winding up the 0-2 pitch down low.
Well, Freddie headed to Tampa in exchange for a few prospects. I think within the top 25 or so for the Rays.
Off of Montero, kicked it up and makes the play throwing to first. 2 are down.
Kick save and indeed a beauty. See his teammates checking on Montero. He said, I'm fine. AJ didn't want to hear any of that. We're going to bring the trainer out and just double check. But a pretty nifty effort there from Cater Montero. Let's take another peek.
Did it hit the ground?
Well, I think what it did is it may have short hopped the heel. Because otherwise, I know what you're getting at. That would just be a catch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it short hopped the heel. Let's take a look, see if we can slow it down and get a good peek here. Yeah, you see the dirt kick up, and it actually didn't even hit the heel. It hit him in the back shoulder. Oh, I lied.
No, so, heel, then back shoulder.
Yeah, double tap.
Kind of looked a little bit like the play in Houston that the Orioles pitcher, whose name escapes me, made where he flicked it up with his foot and then threw to first. It's all over the top 10 plays a few weeks ago.
You know what kind of a supreme athlete you have to be out there on the pitcher's mound, Chris. I mean, it's not for everybody.
Athlete. Just a whisper of an athlete, huh? 1-1 pitch. High, 2 balls and a strike. Pitchers finding new and exciting ways to get outs. Now 2-2. Jonah 1 for 8 on this series, has a double and a run batted in. That's low.
Good take. A very, very close pitch. That changeup from Montero. Great pitch, even better take.
3-2 payoff, and that's ball 4. So Jonah Heim will pass the baton to Tommy White. Who had 3 hits last night.
Well, Tommy White flashing the leather here early. Saved another extra base hit. Taking a double away down the line from Lee. And I think we talked about Tommy White and the way he had swung the bat since getting to the big leagues, and then obviously a little bit of a downturn, right? Tough stretch First 2 strikeout, 3 strikeout, 4 strikeout game.
Club to deep center field. Clark on the move, and he will make the catch. Well struck ball, but it ends up being out number 3 of the first inning, and the Tigers are ahead 2-0. Take the A's on the go this season and stream the games on the NBC Sports app, brought to you by Toyota.
Oh.
96 degrees outside and quite the activity on the river.
Chris, I would give your left arm to be there.
Well, that's the second best place to be other than at the ballpark. I think that's fair to say. Max Clark is up, and that's down low, a ball and a strike. Well, what a first 2 games the big leagues he's had. 5 for 9, 2 doubles, a home run, 3 RBIs. Had his first career home run in the 6th inning last night, 8-6 victory.
Well, it's been quite a debut for Max Clark. Launched this one over the Tiger bullpen. And a great job by his teammates.
The pitch was rolled to strike. The hitter is challenged.
Looks like we're going to have an ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile.
The call is overturned. Detroit has 2 challenges remaining.
Close.
Wow.
Wonder what that fan ended up going home with. One that caught his home run ball.
Well, I tell you, we were having some fun with, you know, the hypothetical asking price for that. And I can't even say the internet divided. But I think there were some folks who don't quite understand the humor behind what we were doing, and that's okay. Probably not inviting them to a comedy club anytime soon. But yeah, I got to believe that he was more than taken care of, and as we said, being able to go home with that memory, really the payoff. But Max Clark is wearing both chains this afternoon, so did not give up a chain. We know that.
You got to stay icy in this warm summer heat. Three-ball, no-strike count to Malgiri. Back-to-back leadoff walks for the Tigers in the first and second innings. Malgiri is up. He's batted .310 over his last 15, and now gets a strike.
Well, you don't want to fall behind guys for a lot of obvious reasons. Folks at home know that. You know, I was talking to Andy Dirk, the broadcaster, and for the Tigers, and we were talking about how a guy like Malgiri, as he grounds over to Alika, flip to Walton on the turn, a little 6-4-3, how you doing?
Things like that can help you out, though.
Sure can. Sure can. But you don't want to make a mistake to anybody in the big leagues because they can hurt you. But able to attack there and get Malgiri to top it.
Call on the field is out at first base. Detroit's challenge.
Looks like they're going to take a look at the back end of that double play.
Detroit challenged a play yesterday in the 4th inning. It was a bunt from Jonathan Ornelas and a bang-bang play at first. Need clear and conclusive evidence. Yep.
Oh, yeah. He will be safe. So it'll go 6'4". And you'll see Malgeri, the foot on the bag right now. And that
After
ball.
review, the call, the field's overturned. The runner is safe. Detroit retains their challenge.
Yep, ball still in the air. So the Tigers will get a base runner and their challenge back.
It's McKinstry now. Malgeri, a big lead off of first. There's strike one.
McKinstry 1 for 4 last night with a double in the 8th. Would score on the McGonigal knock.
Hit in the air to left field. Playable for Soderstrom. Moving in foul ground, makes the catch. 2 are retired. Well, for Gleyber Torres, he scored the first of 2 runs in the first inning, walked to lead off the game. Has batted .102 against left-handed pitching this season. That's just dropped by Heim. Passed ball. Torres made some noise last night.
Indeed he did. Had a couple knocks last night. This one of the long ball variety. Able to just sneak it out to right center. That'll go pass ball for those scoring at home.
Jump saw 6 hitters in the first inning. This is the 4th hitter to come up in the second. Couple of walks, couple of strikeouts so far for Gage Jump. And it is now 3 balls and a strike.
A lot of deep counts here early. See the numbers for Jump at home. Very different than away from Sutter Health Park. This will be a walk to Torres. Second walk in his many plate appearances.
Dingler had a single and then later scored. He's now 4 for 12 on this series. The homer himself and 4 batted in.
Yep. Big homer for Dingler.
It's his 20th home run of the season while in the game as a catcher. Because of that, that's just the 10th such time for a Tiger. Someone playing that position in the last 50 years. Done by Lance Parrish, Mickey Tettleton, Dylan Dingler, Matt Noakes, and Jake Rogers.
Well, I think you zoom out and you take a look at what the Tigers have brewing with some young core pieces. I understand that right now there's still a digestion phase occurring with the trade that happened last night.
1-2.
Ooh.
ABS is going to be used
The pitcher's
here.
rolled a ball. The catcher is challenging.
ABS is powered by T-Mobile, and ABS will tell you it's strike 3.
Call is
The
overturned.
inning is
The
over
Athletics have 2
for
challenges
the
remaining.
Tigers offense.
Well, the ultimate goal of an MLB fan, it's seeing it all. And the MLB Journey to 30 sweepstakes presented by T-Mobile is the ultimate bucket list to make it happen. Enter now for your chance to win trips to all 30. That's right, all 30 ballparks. MLB.com/journey to 30 sweeps.
He's on it right now, Dallas. 286 over his last 15. That's only going to increase his 3rd hit of the series, and it's on the first pitch at the bottom of the 2nd.
Well, he got a big curveball that just kind of sat up top. Lawrence able to put a good swing on it, pull it through that right side.
From a guy who's red hot to a player that's cooling off a little bit.
Our own Chris Townsend asked me today during the changeup if I had one wish, if he could grant us something today, and it was really more geared towards the outing for Gage Jump, and I was very greedy. I'm gonna have to adjust my request, but I think outside of Gage Jump, if I had a request, if I had a wish that could be granted, and it was around an individual, I think it would be for Lawrence Butler to finish this season strong.
0-2 pitch. Cortez flies it in the air to center. That'll be out number 1. I mean, he has multi-hit games in 3 of his last 4. Now has a hit today. Gets aboard for Cortez, who flies out. Now Alika Williams.
Well, and just diving a little deeper into it and understanding that he's, you know, to an extent starting to take on somewhat of that leadership role with some of the other key cogs out of the lineup and down for the count this season. I think the best thing that could happen for Lawrence is that he just continues to put his head down and grind the axe the way he has. And I said this 3 weeks, a month ago. You know, after the All-Star break, what you want to do is just get to work, and we'll look up at the end of September. And I think if you're able to continue to put the work in, evaluate, you know, take those smog checks, if you will, right? Every now and then run the diagnostics and then just get back to work. I think you'll like where you're at the end of September. Maybe not as a team.
Butler's breaking for second. Alika fouling it away.
You know, in terms of any sort of postseason pursuit. But if you can look up and you feel good about the work you put in at the end of the year, then I think heading into the next season, you'll feel really good about having adjusted and overcome some of the struggle that you endured for the majority of the season.
Two on the ground. McGonigal flips to Torres. Torres to first. Alika beats it out. So the inning will continue unless A.J. Hinch decides to challenge. He will not.
I think Alika able to leg it out. Just a bit of an extended second there for McGonigal trying to get it out of his glove. And I think that was the difference between safe or out at first base. Foot of Alika down just ahead of the throw.
McNeil, another guy who's heating up in a big way. Hit safely in 6 of his last 7. 349 over his last 15.
And Jeff last night with a very heads-up baseball play. And with the ball game still well within reach, Neal stepped up, was being given a bunt down the third base side with a runner on third. He took it, drove a run in, got to first, and brought the tying run of the ball game up to the plate. And I applauded Jeff McNeil and will continue to do so for continuously paying attention to the game and what the game and the other team are giving him at any given moment and trying to capitalize on it. And this is what I'm talking about. Just a great job. I mean, look at where McGonigal was playing, right? Over in the shortstop spot, basically.
And Jansen initially looked over and said, all right, all right. Clearly had more words for him after the game ended.
Yeah, and just not a great look for Kenley Jansen. And paraphrasing that, the message was, should I see you tomorrow? Well, you might be sewing one on. And I'm very confident in saying that Kenley Jansen, probably the only person in the ballpark that took exception to that.
Three balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Alika will break for second with a pitch. 3-2 in the air to right. And McKinstry makes an awkward catch, backpedaling for the final out of the second inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, 1 man left on base. 2-0 Tigers. A's fans for the ultimate Vegas getaway at the end of every A's homestand during the 2026 season. That's brought to you by our friends at Circa Resort and Casino. Two 2-0 Tigers, top of the third. And it's McGonigal up and swinging on the first pitch. Lifted in the air, shallow left, in foul ground, and it will end up in the seats. Kevin McGonigal leads the American League with a 5.6 B WAR, ahead of Yordan Alvarez, who's at 5.1 B WAR. Just the second among all position players in major leagues, behind only Pete Crow Armstrong, who's a 6.6 B WAR. That's at his rookie season. Tigers cashed in on him at a very good time.
Yeah, price tag going up every day, it felt like. So I think credit to both sides for being able to meet somewhere in the middle and get it done. He'll be a Tiger for a long time.
0-2. It's away. McGonigal struck out looking. 1 of 3 jump strikeouts, all of them looking strikeouts. One, 2. Sweeper low.
Well, all of them looking and all of them looking at fastballs.
Two pitch. There's a fastball in. 3-2.
We saw the graphic. Gage Jump has been punching tickets. That's the most strikeouts over your first 12 games pitched in A's history. Huddy at the top of that list. Sonny Gray, who we just saw, rounding out the bottom. See where this catches Heim. Maybe lower abdomen. Taking a body blow. He may have caught him a little lower. Oh yeah. I mean, right off the quad. Doesn't feel great. He got kicked by a mule.
3-2. Set in the air to left. Soderstrom racing back, and he will make the catch.
This ball sinking quickly. So to be able to hang in there. We saw the last half inning with McKinstry having to retreat and reel in that fly ball off the bat of McNeil.
Big cut. 1-1. Eduardo Valencia making his first start. Entering play of .462 average. And they'll spray it back foul. This is a player that made his major league debut against the A's in Detroit. Pinch hit, home run. We've talked about it. And now is another powerful catching option. Already 4 home runs in his first 27 at-bats that A.J. Hinch can utilize.
Yeah, he jumped all over a fastball from Hogan Harris.
2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball got him. First swinging strikeout, 4th strikeout overall for Jump.
And not able to catch up to that fastball. 97 up top, up and away from Valencia. And you can see just entirely too tardy.
Torkelson had a 2 RBI double to put the score where it is. Back in the first inning, that's skipped in the dirt. A slider well low. 1-0. Torkelson from Petaluma, California. Same hometown as our A's Talk host, Michael Barabalt. He's done a great job taking the phone calls after the games. Touched on Johnny Gomes as well.
The OG Petalokester.
One ball and 1 strike to Torkelson. Bouncing ball to third. White waits back. Pumps and throws to first. A 1-2-3 inning for Jump in the third. It's the Tigers 2, the A's nothing.
Welcome back. Time now for StatCast, powered by Google Cloud. Henry Bolte found himself a barrel a few times last night. Single, double, and a long ball. I mean, and that long ball was rifled off the bat of Bolte. Just a missile out to right center.
Well, that time he just had to trot.
And that's why, you know, going back to the play that Jeff McNeil made at the plate, the fact that he was able to get the bunt down, bring Soderstrom home, the idea that Henry Bolte, who had already jumped ship once earlier in the ball game, was getting ready to come up. He's a tying run. The tying run.
Well, and then, you know, if he didn't hit a home run, you have his speed aboard on the base paths. One of the fastest runners in baseball. Time now for the Coors Banquet Start Your Legacy feature. And to add more context to this, how about feet per second? 30.6 feet per second. Henry Bolte covers the most ground, minimum 50 competitive runs in baseball.
Well, he is out of the box and down the line quickly.
.333 over his last 7 games. 4 for 6 on this series. The double, a homer, 3 RBIs, 2 runs scored. But he is behind at 1-2. Montero to the plate, and Bolte is fighting.
Well, this is why you were so excited about the potential of Bolte getting another shot at it. Because in the at-bat prior to his final one, that was the result. Just an absolute shot. Putting together a good at-bat here. We'll even up the count now, 2-2. Still advantage Montero.
Two pitch on the ground to third, backhanded by Lee. Throw to first, Bolte hustling up the line, and he is out. Can't hold it for too long when he's running on the base paths.
No, bang, bang. And I think Lee found that out. When you look up and you almost are shocked that a guy from the right side is down the line as quickly as Bolte is. That was 30.4 feet per second down the line for Bolte there.
Alton takes high and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Flew out to left, entering play 314 against right-handed pitching. No surprise as to why he's leading off today's game. Walton came off the bench last night. Had a single. Hit this in the air to right. McKinstry a little bit more comfortable there to make the play for the second out.
I talked about the resiliency for the Athletics. I think it stands to reason you'd like to be able to get some early offense going. Right now, needing to climb back into the ball game, down 2 here early. But I always think about what that can do for the pitcher. The man on the mound starts to see his offense climb back into it. Also a vote of confidence.
This is an A's team that scored first in each of the first 5 games and only had 1 win to show for it on this homestand. And it was all Tigers in game 2 of the series. Now the Tigers leading 2-0 in the third. Soderstrom behind at 0-2 after grounding out back to the pitcher in the first.
Montero back to that changeup. He's got 3 pitches in his toolbox that feature a 20+ whiff rate.
That's clubbed to right field, and it will one-hop over the wall for an automatic double. Soderstrom, such fast hands, and a 2-out double will bring up Jonah Heim.
And the fastball is not one of those pitches with a 20% + whiff rate. Sinker they try to bring back over the inside part of the plate. I can appreciate the attempt. but just left it entirely too hittable, and Sodi able to spin on it, no problem.
Heim walked in the first. He swings and taps it up the first base line. Valencia throws to first, and that'll retire the side. 2-0 Tigers through 3.
A's Baseball is brought to you by Chili's Big Crispy 3 for Me. That's $10.99 you can eat.
Well, the A's may be losing right now, but you're always winning at the ballpark when you can get a hot dog with some ketchup, some mustard, maybe some relish as well. Yeah, he's loading up with the ketchup and mustard. I know my broadcast partner is a mustard aficionado, an avid mustard fan, and that is clearly extended to your children as well.
Did you see what she had for breakfast the other day?
Yep. It was Mom, where's my mustard bread?
Mustard bread, eggs, mustard eggs. Not a ketchup bottle to be found.
How you Lee on one hop to the second baseman Walton, who throws to first, 1 away.
Yeah, little one's got problems. That's okay. Proud Papa. And just for the folks at home, remember, relish is not a condiment, it's a topping. Just
a few things you want to get out. Is there anything else that's on your mind?
no, that's it. Just wanted to clarify.
Well, you look at Nick Kurtz, and tomorrow he's going to go see a hand specialist in Los Angeles. The A's will make a decision about him. You know, he's worn tape around his hand, a thumb guard, a protection. I think they're going to take a look there. And Jacob Wilson, you see, he's noticeably out of the lineup, dealing with patellar tendonitis. Something that he's been managing. It's manageable. Will probably appear on Tuesday in Cincinnati, but get the day off today.
And I think anytime you're starting to manage some nagging issues like patellar tendonitis, something that you can play through, but as you highlighted, you do have to manage. Well, that's what taking a day like today off means, knowing that you have a day off coming. You're able to maximize the schedule, maximize the moment of recovery. So it's 2 days. And then from there, you kind of get back after it.
There's more good news, Dallas. JT Ginn will likely be making the start Tuesday, coming off the IL after dealing with the finger blister. It's good to have him back in the rotation sooner rather than later. 3-2 pitch. Clark takes low, draws his second walk of the game. 11 injuries for the team. A few season-ending surgeries as well. And just too many names. Geloff is a guy who's going to actually rehab next week in Las Vegas. Expected to have around 20-25 at-bats and then reassess where he will be. Maybe A's will see him on the back end of the road trip if everything goes well. So you could be getting Geloff and Ginn back quickly to start the month of August.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. And for the reasons that I highlighted with Lawrence Butler and just wanting him to be able to finish his season strong. For a guy like Geloff, being able to finish healthy, and you hope being able to pick up where he left off. And obviously tough anytime you lose anybody to a season-ending injury. But the fact the Athletics will have endured 3 of those is tough. Very tough.
Especially considering if you're counting Langoliers, which we don't know exactly if it's season ending, we anticipate that it will be. 2 big-time all-stars in Rooker and Langoliers.
We're talking middle of the order bats. When your identity as a ball club, I think, centers around being able to drive the baseball, right? Built on slug. I mean, the Tigers, no stranger to it. Over 1,200 games missed with IL stints.
$1,400 for the Dodgers. For some reason, it's a little different with them because of all the depth that they have. Seems like even when the Dodgers have injuries to 4 or 5 players, they're able to fill it well and they don't miss a beat.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what it is about what allows them to do that.
3-2. Malgeri takes, and Heim is going to challenge here.
The pitch was rolled a ball. The catcher's challenging.
ABS is powered by T-Mobile, and this pitch is low.
The call is confirmed. The Athletics have 1 challenge remaining.
Well, now the 5th free pass for Jump this afternoon. Pitch number 71 on its way. It's a season high 5 walks for Gage Jump.
Jeffrey Springs in his most recent start walked 5 in game 1 against the Tigers.
Well, back-to-back starts for Jump with 4 walks. That was against the Red Sox and then Arizona in the start before that.
Good block from Heim. McKinstry flew out to left. He's 0 for 1. Clark Speed at second. Malgeri at first. 2-0. Has not gotten ahead much against hitters today, as Gage Jump.
No, and I reminded folks he was 12 for 22 in that start regarding first pitch strikes against the Red Sox.
Line drive over Walton. Runner being sent home, now stopped as Butler came home firing. Clark at third, Malgeri at second, McKinstry at first, and Torres with the bases loaded.
Well, Gage Jump still an opportunity to get out of this unscathed as of right now. Dan Hubb's going to come out and chit chat. You see Clark got to hit the brakes and retreat. This meeting on the mound brought to you by the injury attorneys of Ashton and Price. And I think really right now what Hubbs is trying to remind him of is kind of what I said. Hey, look, let's lock it back in. I know we've missed down on a couple of these. Stay down there, get yourself a ground ball. We'll roll up a 2-ball and get out of here.
Now let's hear a word from Red Hawk Resort and Casino.
It's game on at Red Hawk Resort Casino. So many ways to play, you'll stay all day. All your favorite table games and hundreds of the latest slots. Book a room and stay to play another day. Red Hawk Resort Casino, proud partner of Athletics Baseball.
Another conversation we can have, even though you don't want to have the conversation, it's worth repeating. 2 grand slams given up on this homestand. One to Cedon Rafaela, one to the man on deck, Dylan Dingler, in game 1 of this series. Torres homered last night in the 5th. He has the bases loaded in a 2-run lead. Back up the middle, that'll do for 2 more. Stretching for third, the throw to third is late. McKinstry diving safely. Torres stays at first, a 2 RBI single. It's 4-0 Detroit.
Well, McKinstry just running right in the face of Bolte. Ball hit hard back up the middle. Bolte with no shot at home. Goes to third, and that left hand from McKinstry in on the back just ahead of the tag from Tommy White.
Still just 1 out.
Well, that's 3 out of the 5 walks, Chris, that have scored this afternoon.
Colorado warming up in the bullpen. We've talked about the starting pitchers not going as long as they would have liked to. 6 1/3 or fewer in each of the last 36 games dating back to June 19th.
Well, and I think, you know, as you dive into the numbers, you see it's been tough to get some of those deeper outings that you hunt as a starting staff. And unfortunately, that applies a lot of pressure to the bullpen. And I think we've seen what that can do. You know, it's such an integral part of keeping a bullpen healthy and putting them in a position to be successful is being able to get deep in your starts. Maybe a foul ball. So no reaction there from Dingler. This one off the barrel.
Middle of the rubber from the stretch, the 1-2 pitch. Blocked by Heim. Jump missing low at a more frequent level today.
Well, and you're starting to see the changeup now, and I think the idea is, you know, maybe before you have to go to that changeup in a tight spot like he finds himself in here, is being able to get comfortable with it maybe a little earlier in the game.
He goes to the slider and gets the desired result, striking out Dingler. 5th strikeout for Jump. Still has McGonigal coming up.
And I think it's because that pitch right there, it feels like, is going to be there for you if you're Gage Jump. You got a lot of confidence in it. You know, whether it's the traditional slider, whether it's the sweeping slider. The fastball speaks for itself, and we typically talk about the fastball command helping open up things. I think being able to introduce the changeup and show that you can be competitive with it, especially for Gage Jump, who the numbers tell you it's going to be a hard fastball, and then you got the breaking balls that are headed all in one direction. But if you can get that changeup, that not only creates the separation and velocity, but also starts to keep you honest because it heads a different direction. Well, now I think you might start to see how things open up for you.
Ball and a strike. McGonigal 0 for 2, a strikeout and a flyout. Now he's ahead at 2-1. Alvarado continuing to warm up in the A's bullpen. A's do have an off day tomorrow.
Well, I think this will probably be the last batter for McGonigal, or for Gage Jump, excuse me.
3-1. Torres at first, McKinstry at third. 4-0 Detroit in the fourth inning. Pitch number 87 coming home. Swing and a miss, 3-2. So Torres will be off with the pitch. McNeil will vacate the bag. He's hoping to get final out of a long top of the fourth inning. 3-2 payoff. Down low, the sixth walk for Jump, and Mark Kotsay out of the dugout immediately. The point just as quick. And like you predicted, Dallas, the end of the line for Gage Jump today. He will leave with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Alvarado comes in with Valencia coming up. California's local bank.
Fans gear up on Saturday. That's August 29th as the A's take on the Orioles. You can arrive early to score an exclusive Sacramento Puffer Vest giveaway and represent the capital city in style all season long. Upgrade your fan fit and be there for an unforgettable night at the ballpark. Get your tickets right now at athletics.com/promotions.
Well, bases loaded, 4-0 Tigers, 2 outs. Jump went 3 2/3. Elvis Alvarado will enter the game in his 32nd appearance. 3-3, 4.91 ERA. Will face Eduardo Valencia, who's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Of the 6 walks issued by Gage Jump, 3 of them have come in this inning alone. Swing and a miss, strike 2, so 2 swinging strikes out of the bullpen from Alvarado.
Come right after him. Right after him. Well, there's a line for Gage Jump. Responsible for everybody on base as it sits right now. 3 2/3. 4 earned runs. 4 hits. See the walks and the strikeouts. 6 walks, 5 strikeouts.
0-2 pitch, fouled away. That's coming after you, said Dallas. Back-to-back starts allowing 4 walks. Now he allows 6 here at home.
I mean, 14 walks over your last 3 outings.
Crushed to left. Soderstrom on the move. He will not get there. It's off the top of the wall on a hop. 2 runs are going to score. Valencia an RBI double. Now second and third with 2 outs. And Detroit leads 6-0.
Well, after 2 fastballs blown by Valencia, it's a slider that just mixes right in the middle. Slider bat speed, able to jump all over it. And it's a 2-run double here with 2 outs.
Torkelson, who has a 2-run double himself, is 1 for 2, and he's up again. He'll take strike number 1, is going to challenge here.
The pitch was ruled a strike. The hitter's challenging.
ABS is powered by T-Mobile, and it was a strike.
The call is confirmed. Detroit has 1 challenge remaining.
The very tip top of the strike zone, up and in. There's strike number 2. Fastball paints the black on the outside corner. 0-2. To pitch, low and outside. Well, now 9 hitters have come up. So batted through the order. 4-run inning again. Quite a few of those on the wrong side here at home. Tigers are 5-0 against the A's this season. A chance to make it their first perfect 6-0 against an opponent.
Well, working on a 21-minute half inning here.
Race is on for the foul ball. Who got it?
The younger Spryer fan.
Some good lettuce behind that cap.
Let's talk about that mustache.
Two pitch. Flied to left, and this will end the top of the 4th. But the Tigers score 4 runs and lead by 6.
Today we're proud to recognize Eat Real as our nonprofit partner of the ballgame. Eat Real is dedicated to transforming school nutrition by helping public schools replace ultra-processed ingredients with fresh, delicious, and responsibly sourced real food. Through its award-winning K-12 certification program, Eat Real gives school food service leaders the tools and support to serve scratch-cooked, nutrient-dense meals that fit within existing budgets. To learn more about Eat Real and their mission to bring healthier meals to students across the country, visit eatreal.org. I love that. I don't know that those are on the menu.
Ribs. We go ahead and rub our ribs.
I wouldn't mind those. And I'll tell you right now, speaking as a kid, Chris, who grew up in the public school system, I was a hot lunch kid. So shout out to public schools and all the lunch ladies who help feed all of us gremlins as Tommy White pulls it over to third for out number 1. I love this initiative. Absolutely love that. I mean, look, I was excited as anybody on Fridays when you knew you got the gold foil on your hot lunch because it was either pizza or spaghetti. Pretty pumped about that. And if you were nice to the lunch lady, you got an extra chocolate milk. That was pretty sweet. So to think that there is a real initiative and a dedication, a focus on making sure these kids are not only taken care of, but in a manner where it's healthy. You feel good about it. Tip my cap to Eat Real. Well done, folks. Well done.
Butler swings and flies it to left. Malgiri, glasses gleaming, makes the catch. Maybe we need to get you some chocolate milk up in the booth.
I mean, shout out, I think it's Fairy Life?
Fairlife?
Fairlife? Is it Fairlife?
Well, those are the protein shakes, the high protein milkshakes.
Yeah, no, I'm talking, I mean, chocolate milk, high protein chocolate milk.
We can make that happen. You just say the word. Cortez is up. He flew out to center. He's 0 for 1.
That big chocolate milk guy.
I've heard that a lot of Olympic athletes drink chocolate milk for protein intake and things like that. It's not just because it's a good tasting drink, but
well, you know, I think it kind of serves both purposes. If there's protein in anything, I think you can lie to yourself and go, yeah, but you know, there's 8 grams of protein in this cup of chocolate milk. How much sugar in it? Didn't ask that.
Like when Johnny eats a burger with lettuce on it, he says it's healthy.
Oh, there's no bigger play for the Thai guy going.
Three balls and a strike to Cortez. As we mentioned, hitless in his last 8 games with a plate appearance. 0 for 1 today in a hitter-friendly count. He'll draw a walk. 2-out walk at that.
Well, you know, and maybe sometimes, Chris, it's just a patient at bat like that that can get a guy going. Because I think what we have seen with Cortez is not quite the same amount of confidence at the plate that I think we saw earlier in the year. And that can come when you have a few days in a row where you've gone hitless. Maybe you're not able to hit the ball as hard as you're used to. And you put those two things together, and you can start to understand why a guy might start to feel differently at the plate. But I've always felt like anytime you can exhibit plate discipline, strike zone discipline, and that starts to pay off, you start to get a little confidence going. It's that reminder, hey, I can recognize balls out of the zone, out of the hand. I can identify good pitches that I can put a good swing on. And now you just need to be able to pull the trigger and have those balls fall.
0-2 pitch. Did he go? No, he did not.
I mean, we remember there was a moment in time where Carlos Cortez, not the hottest player on the planet.
Yep.
The league able to pump the brakes.
And he was included in all those promotional banners for voting for the All-Star game. That's how good he was playing.
Oh.
He's teed it off a little bit, but doesn't mean he can't return to his stronger form in the month of August leading into September. Popped up. Second baseman Torres makes the catch. Looks like he had some trouble there in the sunlight, but he records the final out of the 4th. Tigers up by 6. For 49er news, trending stories, and exclusive interviews, check out the 49ers Talk podcast, hosted by Matt Biocco and Jennifer Lee Chan, and presented by Big O Tire. Lemonade sounds good about right now. I know you're a fan of the strawberry lemonade variety. You proclaimed it is the non-alcoholic beverage of the summer.
I did. comfortable doing so.
Said it would overtake Sweet Tea. I think I agree with you, man. What's better than a lemonade on a hot summer day at the ballpark?
Well, I don't know that it's better. I mean, as good. It might be a 1-1A situation depending on where you're at in these United States. Find yourself in the southern region, probably tough to dethrone a good cup of sweet tea.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Oh, when we were in Atlanta, you couldn't find a sweet tea.
And I was not happy about it.
You were very unhappy about it. Three and 2. Well, you could always combine them, make an Arnold Palmer. Sweet tea, lemonade. Might be a sugar overload, though.
A little bit.
3 and 2 lead. Gets it in the air to center. Bolte has it for the first out of the 5th.
Well, we saw Gleyber Torres battling the sun to end the inning on the illegal Williams pop up. You see Bolte kind of creating a mild angle for himself. That's what you'll see fielders do. Outfielders, infielders, if they've got time, kind of get around a ball, create a little bit of an angle, and that helps get the ball out of the sun. Not a cloud to be found.
After a day game that you played, was there any go-to activity if you still had time during the day? After finishing game, would you go straight home, or would you maybe here in Sacramento?
Well, I can tell you, when I was in the big leagues and we had, day game at home, and we had a night game, like take Sunday and then you have a night game on Monday, or maybe even a day off, I'd get home and go fishing. Having access to the deep water channel. I mean, the Delta, I grew up on the Delta, fishing, water sports, but I mean, you got some of the best bass fishing in the country right there where I live. So Alvarado able to take care of Max Clark. Love that. Little slider. Slider took a right instead of a left, but you got the swing and miss either way.
Clark also went fishing. Different kind of fishing. No bites. The first pitch, Malgiri swings and flies it to right. A quick inning for Elvis Alvarado in the 5th. Right back to the A's offense. McNeil, Bolte, and Walton. A's down, half dozen.
All right, fans, get ready for an unforgettable weekend against the Texas Rangers. You can join us Saturday to celebrate our 2026 All-Star with the Shea Bangaliers bobblehead. Bring the whole family out on Sunday for a custom A's headband giveaway for the kids. Don't miss out. You're going to have to bring the energy to the ballpark all weekend long. Grab your seats right now at athletics.com/tickets.
McNeil is up. 0 for 1 with a line out in the 2nd inning. 6-0 Detroit in the bottom of the 5th.
Well, Chris, I want to take some time just to acknowledge a couple ladies who have meant the world to the athletics organization, to the athletics fan base, really. And these folks here are friends and family of Tina Baker and Linda Ratcliffe. And we unfortunately lost those two ladies. But I talk about being a part of this organization and being a player and what that has meant to me. And a large part of that comes from how I was treated and welcomed into the organization, not only by folks of the front office and the ushers and the security staff, but the fans. And Linda and Tina sat right down by the dugout and front row, and each and every day that you walk out to the field, each and every day that you got to spend in the big leagues, you also got to be embraced by folks who absolutely love the game of baseball and love their A's. And those two women, year in, year out.
Neal lifts it in the air to right, and McKinstry makes the catch.
Day in, day out, showed up and poured their love and poured their positive vibes into you, and they didn't care whether you were the best player on the team or a guy like me who you're wondering, well, why'd they even give this guy a uniform? But these folks here today just celebrating the love and the life of those two ladies, and I just wanted to number one, applaud them for the acknowledgement. And whoa.
Bolte showed bunt there. Remember, showing bunt has not really made Tigers right-handers happy before.
Well, I'll say this. Montero, in between innings.
So that's popped up, and that goes over the screening.
In between innings, Montero sailed one to the backstop, missed everything, almost took out a couple members of the grounds crew.
Glad you got to share that story about two individuals that mean a lot to you, mean a lot to those people that have traveled to show up to an A's game, something that they loved doing. Saw a lovely picture of you and Kim Jackson, the creator of the Stomper beanie, made the trip up here.
Kim and her husband Steve, Martine, another lovely young lady. Thanks for the halibut, Martine. Appreciate you, girlfriend. But all those folks have just made showing up to the ballpark that much better. It's like Jeremy Rehat wore that one. Man. Oh, and that is right in the lower jaw. Ooh. That'll rattle you. See him kind of blinking right now, trying to clear the cobwebs. See the deep breath. And Jeff Collins, the meticulously manicured man, out to check on him. Tough job back there. When you are in the line of fire and you don't have the option of trying to knock it down with a glove, you got to help the fella and hope the fella in front of you can do it. Not to mention you're dealing with the elements. 100 degrees outside, down on the playing surface, baking in the heat all day, well over 100 degrees. One of those 100 on the thermometer, feels like 110 plus. I'm gonna try to give him every opportunity they can to try to gather himself. And it looks like that's going to be it for Jeremy Rehak. Well, that's Adam Beck. Headed back, he'll get suited up, throw the gear on. This will take a while, folks. There's a lot of gear you got to strap on, changing to the uniform and whatnot. So Jeff Collins, all-star trainer Jeff Collins, gonna walk Jeremy Rehak out back to the umpires room, and the Detroit Tiger players will take a little break as they start to leave the playing field. And I mean, you saw it catch Rehak right on the chin. You got the jarring of the neck. Well, as we have a flip of the umpire crew, we'll take a break. We'll catch you back here in a few minutes. Tigers up by 6.
A's Baseball is brought to you by Red Hawk Resort and Casino, taking entertainment to a new level.
6-0, the Tigers lead in the bottom of the 5th inning. We have a brief pause in game action.
Well, fans, you can dust off your boots and head to the ballpark on Friday, August 14th as the A's host the Texas Rangers. Stick around after the final out. You can watch a massive fireworks show light up the West Sacramento sky to all your favorite country music hits. Kick off your weekend with great music, big hits, and epic fireworks. Get your tickets right now at athletics.com/promotions.
So Jeremy Rehak has not been able to continue the game after this pitch and this foul ball. Got him right in the chin.
And that's about as square as it gets right there. And Valencia very quickly up to his feet and checking on Rehak back there. I mean, you can see the shockwave through the neck of Jeremy Rehak. He would leave the ball game soon after with athletics trainer Jeff Collins. And that's where we're at right now. So hang out, go get yourselves a beverage, grab a snack. We'll be back right after this.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Athletics.
That was on this date in 2014. John Lester made his A's debut, earning a win against the Kansas City Royals. Pitched 6 2/3, allowing 9 hits and 3 runs. He struck out 3 and walked only 1 while throwing 104 pitches that season. Lester went 6-4 with a 2.35 ERA and 11 regular season starts for the Athletics. And we know that there's going to be another left-hander this year making his debut with a different team. And the biggest news in baseball is Tarik Skubal is headed to the Los Angeles Dodgers in exchange for 3 prospects: the outfielder Zaire Hope, the right-handed pitcher River Ryan, and the right-handed pitcher Brady Smith.
Well, how about this list? Reigning Cy Young winners that have been traded in season. Frank Viola back in '89, David Cone, the hired gun, back in '95. We all remember the incredible run of CC Sabathia when he joined Milwaukee. Felt like he pitched every other day down the stretch and dominated in doing so. Left-hander Cliff Lee back in '09 from Cleveland to Philly, and then Justin Verlander from the Mets back to Houston, and Tarik Skubal yesterday from these Tigers to the Los Angeles Dodgers. And here's how that rotation starts to shape up for the Dodgers. Skubal, Yamamoto, Snell on the mend, Ohtani, who they say will pitch again, and Tyler Glasnow as well. And I think what's interesting, Chris, is outside of Skubal and Yamamoto, there's some question marks between Snell and Ohtani and Glasnow, just in terms of what their overall health is and could be by the time that rotation starts to shape up. These guys start to get going. So I think when you consider what a guy like Skubal brings to the table and what Yamamoto has done this season, what we saw Yamamoto do in the postseason and mainly the World Series last year, gives you a pretty good idea of where the Dodgers could be headed and what kind of firepower they are bringing with them.
I was seeing somewhere somebody said the heavy favorite Los Angeles Dodgers to win the World Series now becomes an incredibly high favorite. I mean, an overwhelming favorite to win the World Series with the addition of Tarik Skubal. But we know anything can happen in October, and a lot of teams getting hot. You're seeing the Detroit Tigers getting hot. They've taken 2 against the A's. The Boston Red Sox are red hot. So be an interesting finish. And it looks like Adam Beck is all ready to go. So have not seen this before. It will be a 3-man umpiring crew the rest of the way. 2 on the corners, 1 behind the plate.
Yeah, I mean, there's different mechanics for the crew. And that all gets worked out, but as you said, it will be a 3-man show from here on out.
So with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning, 2 outs.
2-2 count.
One out with Bolte coming up and a 2-2 count. This is a lot of time for Kader Montero to have in between throwing pitches as well. No activity in Detroit's bullpen despite the long suspended animation. Bolte is grounded out and he's hit on the first pitch. Wow. What do you know?
Well, Montero sailed one over his head early in the at-bat. Well, the first pitch after the break ends up clipping him on the elbow. About a 15-minute delay or so just for Bolte to wear a backup slider off the tricep.
Walton 0 for 2. There's a strike on a changeup. So yeah, you said different mechanics. Now the third base umpire Louis Krupa will bump over in between first and second with the runner aboard.
Well, as I said, home plate umpire, it's a completely different uniform, right? It's the different size shirt that's going to fit over the West vest.
Hit on a hop. Lead to second, on to first, and a nice dig by Torkelson.
Wow.
5-6-3 double play. And will Mark Kotsay take a look here?
I mean, a very good play on both ends. They're going to keep it moving. What a play. Lee to McGonigal, over to Torkelson, who digs it out and holds the bag.
This upcoming schedule is brought to you by Service Champions. After the game, the A's will fly to Cincinnati, Ohio, have an off day Monday, then face the Reds for 3. Then the Red Sox at Fenway Park this coming weekend. Then back at home against the Rays and the Rangers. Now in the 6th inning, Hogan Harris in the game, and the Tigers leading by 6. 52nd appearance for Hogan, 3-0, 3.38 ERA. As mentioned before, the A's do have an off day tomorrow. Got anything fun planned for your off day, Dallas?
I believe I do. Looks like we're going to have an ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile. And it's a strike.
Pitch is a strike. The Athletics have one challenge remaining.
Yeah, they got a nice little trail out there. Kentucky. Got some fun stuff to offer on that trail.
Base hit for McKinstry, his second hit of the game. So no Skyline chili for you, Dallas?
Yeah, it's going to be a pass. All good there. Kintry with a shot back up the middle.
You said you liked the spaghetti at your Friday lunches when you were a kid. Do you not like spaghetti noodles in your chili?
That's just, you know, no.
I wonder if Johnny will be headed to Skyline Chili.
And if it's a free meal, you can book it.
Pitch in the dirt. That's going to get away from Heim. Wild pitch advances the runner 90 feet.
Well, that'll be a wild pitch for those scoring at home.
That does it go. 3-0. Late strike call.
Ooh. Close pitch just in off. Torres now his third walk of the afternoon. Torres came into the ballgame hitting just over 100 against left-handers. One homer.
3 walks and a 2 RBI single, 2 runs scored for Torres, and Dingler also has a hit. And that is strike 1. That is strike 2.
I know a lot of folks that given some thought about who could be on the move for the Athletics. I think Hogan Harris was a name that was ballied about.
About his battery mate, a lot of stock increasing in Jonah Heim.
Sure.
How well he's performed.
And we know that the catching market has been something that has been talked about.
Down low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, there was a 15-minute pause as Jeremy Rehak took a foul ball off of his face mask, and Adam Beck is in the game. That 15 minutes probably allowed fans to start building their buildable tower bridge.
You get yours put together?
I've not gotten my hands on the giveaway yet. I'm excited. A swing and a miss. Dingler is out. I saw the boxes, though, the packaging really cool.
Harris just dingles a curveball to Dingler. And Dingler can't do nothing with it.
I mean, that's the big one. That's the real one.
Yeah, not actual size. That is to scale.
Bouncing ball. Walton charges. Will tag Torres. Throw to first. Wait.
Yep. No, he's calling him out.
He's calling him out
of the baseline. There you go. Good heads-up play there by Walton. 6-0 Tigers. We head to the bottom.
True baseball fans need Wi-Fi that's so reliable it never gets caught looking. Xfinity Internet keeps you in the game at one price for 5 years and allows you to get online minutes the same day. Wi-Fi, Xfinity.
Imagine that. I'm imagining that on my lips right now. Ulalani's crushing.
Is that like a green apple flavor they're putting on there?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, you go what? Blue Raz? You go Tiger's Blood?
I'm a Tiger's Blood guy.
Yeah.
Tiger's Blood.
But I gotta have the pink.
Pina colada. Condensed milk.
That's our citrus squeeze.
That's their citrus squeeze.
I'll take one of those.
I'm getting real close. Real close to going to freeze. I mean, that's what that's doing for me right now. Just a hop, skip, and a jump away over in Old Town. If you're out here at the ballpark, make a day of it. Head over to Old Town Sacramento. Stop by Ulalani's and grab yourself a delightful shaved ice before you head on over to the yard.
Swing and a miss. I admit I've never had Hawaiian shaved ice before.
Are you serious?
I've had Italian ice before, but I've never had the ice of the Hawaiian variety.
Get out of the house, kid. You ever been to Hawaii?
I've never been to Hawaii.
Oh my.
From the East Coast, man. The Bahamas are a traveling area that East Coasters go.
Huh. Let me guess, they got great shaved ice down the Cape, right? Tired.
Heim gets it in the air to center. I do like Tiger's Blood, though.
How do you know?
I mean, I know the flavoring. The flavoring doesn't change. It's just the presentation of the ice, correct?
Yeah, it's all about the vehicle. So I don't know how you're taking in Tiger's Blood.
Have you never had ice of the Italian variety?
Yeah, I have. But Hawaiian shaved ice guy.
Because I don't fit your worldview of ice. You're going to judge me for not having the Hawaiian ice of what is the premier ice that you can get.
That's about right. Yep.
Okay.
I mean,
I got that covered.
Gotta remember, Chris, I lived in Hawaii for almost a year. And times spent on the island. I mean, that was a big part of North Shore, Matsumoto's. I mean, it was almost a daily occurrence.
You and Hawaiian shaved ice?
And Matsumoto specifically. Yes. I mean, they have other great places that you can stop if you don't want to drive all the way to the North Shore.
Once you get your mind on a specific restaurant, it's hard to give that up.
Yeah. Creature of habit.
Did you change up your flavors at all?
Sure. Sure. I mean, look, that's where condensed milk became a thing for me. I was a little hesitant at first. But again, once the people start to realize, Well, you're here again for the 4th straight day in a row. Start to build a relationship. Hey, why don't you try this? Okay. All right.
It sounds really good.
I mean, phenomenal.
3-2 payoff pitch. White strikes out. And a 1-2-3 for Montero. Through 6, Tigers up 6.
You can wrap up the weekend with the ultimate Sunday. That's August 30th against the O's. Early arriving fans 14 and under will score an exclusive A's growth chart to track just how fast your little ones are growing, right alongside their favorite players. You can make lasting ballpark memories and secure your family plans today at athletics.com/promotions.
6-0 Tigers, top of the 7th. Valencia is up for a 4th time. He's 1 for 3 with a 2 RBI double. Check swing, grounder. McNeil will take it himself. And 1 away. Hayden Yinger in the game, 8th appearance.
We'll see if he can throw up a 0, Chris, because there's some time left. Not a whole lot of time for the Athletics. They're running out of outs, running out of opportunities here. Be nice to get a day game victory under the belt for the A's. Something that hasn't happened in a while. It's a 7-game losing streak in day games for the Athletics. Haven't won during the day since June 25th. That was in San Francisco. And you got to wind the calendar back even further, Chris. Last time they won a day game here at Sutter Health Park, well, that was May 3rd.
And you have to remember, all of these day games, for the most part, have been on Sundays, getaway days, travel days. So they've had to turn around and go someplace else for the next week after a loss at a very consistent rate at home.
Yeah, not a lot of fun.
Tyler Holton was the opener in game 1. Is getting up and warm in the bullpen. 2-2. Fouled back. Well, after this series ends, Detroit will travel to Seattle to face the Mariners, then back down to San Francisco. They also have an off day on Monday. So just 3 games in between off days. Off day the 30th, now an off day the 3rd. Ground ball is short. Alika loads, throws to first, Torkelson out. And Hao-Yu Lee is coming up. Seattle's still very interesting to see what they will do at the trade deadline. You know, they already dealt Castillo to the White Sox, but they still have more pitching that they may be willing to part with. Emerson Hancock is a big name that has been floated around a number of big league teams.
And I think, interesting.
Lee lines that to center, base hit.
Considering where the Mariners are at in the division, right? Just 3 out. Just a couple of games back in the wild card. And entertaining parting ways with some contributors that have helped get them to / keep them where they're at in those 2 races.
Clark will get a hit.
Well, Max Clark now with a hit in his first 3 big league ball games. And something we have seen him do with relative ease, and that's shoot the ball the other way. So very nice showing for the young rookie for the Tigers. This meeting on the mound brought to you by the injury attorneys of Ashton and Price. Dan Hubbs on his way to go over the scouting report here against Holt Keith, who's going to hit for Malgiri.
And Bowden warming up in the bullpen. 2 for 4 on the series. Going 9 for 22, 409 on the previous homestand. 280 hitter against righties, sub 100 against lefties, and he'll swing on the first pitch, a changeup. 0-1. 237 with runners in scoring position, has 15 of his 27 RBIs when there have been runners in scoring position. Hayden Yinger from O'Fallon, Illinois, went to Missouri State. He was a Bear. Punchback foul. That's near the radio booth, Dallas. Just waiting to see his head poke out. Yep, I think he did lean over because you see him just readjusting.
Of course. But we all know better. That ball's going to have to catch him.
I can guarantee you they're talking about it as well.
Johnny, no? Come on.
Yeah, he gets the 7th inning, so he's talking about it for sure. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Both runners will be off with the pitch. Excited to work with Johnny on the road in Cincinnati and Boston. 3-2 payoff. Keith fouls it away. Never a dull moment in that radio booth, I'll tell you that much.
Well, 3-2, 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Will be off with the pitch.
3-2. Popped up on the infield in the sunshine. McNeil has it, and that'll end the top of the 7th. Let's go to the stretch. Tigers up 6.